There's more to the song Life is Good than you know about. Here's some secrets Drake and Future don't want you to know about, so make sure you stay tuned, you won't want to miss this. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, Drake's High Life.
Bragging about a custom Patek Philippe watch designed by Off-White founder Virgil Abloh that he shared on Instagram shortly after the song's release.
Did you want to win any of these items on the screen? If so, be sure to watch the whole video, leave a like, and comment the hidden message. And with that being said, let's get right back into the video. Drake and Future have admitted here that they understand the lives that us commoners have, and that's to be believed, but that doesn't mean that they don't know how to live it up. And Drake has several lines in his chorus and verse about how well he's doing, which is pretty well again, considering he's worth $170 million. One such line that shows off his wealth is, "Virgil got a Patek on my wrist going nuts." If you're not hip in the world of watches, Virgil Abloh is the founder of the fashion brand Off-White and is the artistic director of menswear at Louis Vuitton, which he was appointed as in March 2018. And Louis Vuitton is one of the most high-end brands you can get, period. He just so happens to be a friend of Drake, a dear friend in fact. So when Virgil puts a watch on Drake, you know it's expensive. How about more teases of what Drake has? Well, how about this line from a little later on? "Manor House in Rosewood, that too plush." The Manor House is a suite in London's luxury 5-star Rosewood hotel, and it's something that Drake also has a very special connection with, because not only has he stayed in this hotel multiple times, but he also featured it in his Moralist playlist that he did. So when he travels to London, he stays in style. Sure, he says it's too plush, a reference to how quality the place is, but trust me, I'm sure he's not mad when he has to stay and live there for a couple days. And of course, this doesn't include any of the numerous amounts of things that he has in his life that was bought with his millions, you know, including 2 mansions, the multiple cars, all the fancy jewelry that he has, and so on and so forth. Drake is one of the wealthiest rappers in the world right now, and he's earned the right to live the high life and flaunt it, and that's exactly what he does. He's worked hard for where he is right now, and so until that ends, he's gonna spend the money, but he'll be humble about it, which isn't exactly something Future can say in regards to outperforming expectation.
It's like the first time in Grammy's history where I actually am who I thought I was for a second, so I like that. That's really nice.
Heading into the first verse by Drake, the very first line of that verse paints a very good picture of something that Drake is living for right now, proving his haters and rivals wrong. "Say my days are numbered, but I keep waking up." No, this isn't a reference to how Drake is dying and that every day he lives is a victory, but rather there are many people who erroneously say that Drake is going to be on a decline in terms of his career. Some even say that right now his career is declining. Yet Drake and anyone who actually pays attention to the business knows that this isn't true in the slightest at all. The last few years have proven that Drake is a phenom and a force to be reckoned with, even though he's been making music for a while. He's had #1 tracks dozens of times over the last few years, including having so many songs on the charts he beat a record held by the Beatles. That doesn't just happen.
And 1 year, it's the most top 10s by any act in a single year ever. He beat the Beatles.
Every album that he releases is basically guaranteed to be #1 on the Billboard because of the popularity he has. His music sells like crazy on the internet where they're sold, and he set records on iTunes, Spotify, and more. If he does a concert in a city, you know it's packed to the brim with people who are more than happy to go and watch him. If he makes an appearance on TV in any capacity, it's big news. Drake is easily the top guy in the rap world right now, and that's not going to stop anytime soon. And you could argue that he is in the top 3 or 5 in terms of top musicians right now, depending on how you stack your list. The point he's trying to make here is that he's had critics saying for some time now that he's on his way out, and at one time he did believe them. He wrote in a song that he was going to retire at 35. I'm assuming everybody's 35 and under, that's why I plan to retire, man, it's already funded. But due to his massive success, he says he no longer feels that he needs to do that, which is totally fine. He's 33 right now and he's living the best possible life that he can. For him, life literally is good, great even. Sure, his massive fame is a bit of a surprise when considering where he started out and even how he got into the industry, but he's worked hard and done what is necessary in the right ways to get to the top. So his haters can continue to say that he's on his way out or that his career is on the decline. That's not true in the slightest, and it may not head towards that path for some time to come. Future's highlight. Future may not be as rich as Drake, but he's still got millions to burn. And while Drake does have a good time spelling out messages for people to understand, Future is more than happy just flapping about all the cool stuff that he has and the stuff that he's done. Yeah, 100,000 for the cheapest ring on a finger lobe, woo. I done flew out to Spain to be in my domain and out of Mars at the woo. Dropped $300 on a ring, cost a Bentley truck, lobe, woo. I'm pretty sure we all get the message on this one, right? I mean, $100,000 ring? Yeah, that sounds like something Future would do, and more than likely, he's done it multiple times. I mean, he is as a rapper, and he's worth way more than a couple of $100,000 rings, I'm just saying. And as for him flying out to Spain, that's something that he can do on the regular because of all the stuff that he has in terms of cash. But it's the last line that we may just want to pay attention to, because not only is he talking about spending more on a ring than a Bentley truck, but he's saying that in a way to kind of insult the listener, or more than likely its haters, because as we all know, there are those who don't like many of the things that rappers do, including how they do their spending habits. So that way he ends those lines in a serving notice, if you will, for those who would dare insult what he does with his time and money. Everyone is vulnerable. Ironically enough though, while it's true that there are many lines in Life is Good that is reference to wealth and fame and power, there is one line from Future's verse in the song that is rather humbling, mainly in that he decides to remember all the rappers who have fallen while he's still around. They had the candlelight lighting it up, anybody can get it, woo. The use of the phrase candlelight is a reference to the candlelight vigil that most fans in the rap world hold when someone passes away, and sadly the rap world has been through a lot of loss in the last few years, such as with the passing of Juice WRLD in December of 2019, or the violent passing of Nipsey Hussle in early 2019. Mac Miller and XXXTentacion passed in 2018 in very tragic ways. This is what Future is trying to say here with anybody can get it, for whether it's by accident or in an intentional strike, anyone can die in any way on any given day, and that can be a sobering fact for most rappers to think about, especially when they're wildly successful like these two rappers are. You never think about your own passing unless you're sick or you're afraid of something that may come your way, and for Drake and Future, they've seen many of their friends, including Nipsey Hussle, pass on way before their time. Also though, they've seen many rappers young and old get into trouble with the law and go to jail, which happens a lot in the rap world unfortunately. So by keeping humble and understanding that they have a good life right now, it may just be what keeps them from following the paths of others who don't end up in as good a place as them. You're the boss.
The music video was helmed by Director X, also responsible for Drake's viral video for Hotline Bling.
Ending the script on the music video, we go to the final scene where everything comes full circle in a fun yet unexpected way. Because as Drake and Future are doing the more modern and rap scenes in the music video, they're interrupted by the director of the piece, who asks them to do one last bit one more time, of which you can tell that Drake and Future aren't exactly happy about it. But the director asks for one more please, and they reluctantly agree, to which we cut to the camera crew and sound director, who are played by Drake and Future, and they acknowledge that there's going to be one more take, and Drake says, "You're the boss." That very subtle yet poignant scene points out something that most people choose to ignore when it comes to rap stars. They think that because they're rich and powerful, which is something they've bragged about the entire song more or less, that they don't answer to anyone, that they don't have a boss like many people do in their regular day job lives. But this isn't even close to being true, because whether people realize it or not, there is a lot of bosses in the rap world, and beyond that, both Drake and Future have to listen to. Even on just the base level, their agents are someone they need to answer to, because they at times know what's best for them even if they don't, which is why a good agent slash manager is essential for doing what they do, because they can't handle everything themselves. Then there's a record label that they're signed to. They need to answer to them to ensure that they fulfill the aspects of the contract that they agreed to, as well as making sure that the content they make is quality and will make the label money, always important. There's also song producers, music video directors, and more that are working hard themselves to make sure guys like Drake and Future have the best careers possible, because if they make money via their music, then the directors, producers, and more make money as well. The lesson of the story is that everybody answers to somebody. Everyone has a boss, even if you don't realize it. Now sure, their bosses may not be as evil as some of the bosses of you watching at home, and trust me, we at King Trending have had to deal with bad bosses ourselves, but the fact is, they have to answer to someone, and we all know stories of rappers going off the deep end and thinking they were above the label, only to be brought crashing back down to earth and being sued or blackmailed or something else. These guys know the score and they're just making sure you remember it too. Working on the weekend. Life is Good doesn't start out like you think it would, as it decides to do a more real life version of the events to start things off, and I think that will impress some of you. The lyrics start with, "Working on the weekend like usual, way off in the deep end like usual." Why does this matter? Well, the song as a whole, as you're going to find out, is about how Drake and Future have ascended to the top of the charts and the rap world in many ways, but even they will admit that at one point in their lives they had to do things like get regular jobs, which I know may sound odd since Drake was a child star via the show Degrassi, but it's true. There was a point before he was a breakout star that he had to work the weekend, and Future was the same way. This is an important thing because they're acknowledging that while they're living the dream right now, it wasn't always that easy. It wasn't always that simple, which is why they're singing it, or more specifically why Drake is singing it, because he's a very humble guy and he knows that there are plenty of people out there who are working hard every single day in order to make their lives better. The only reason that he took the job at Degrassi was because he and his mom were slumming it in a small apartment in Toronto. He saw the struggle that his mother was going through and he knew he had to step up to fix it, and he did. But he also knows that there are people who don't get that choice or that option option, so thus they have to work hard at whatever jobs they are able to get. The daily job.
Visual shows Future and Drake trying out a number of different jobs, ranging from trash collectors to Apple Store employees to fast food workers.
As we know, there is a lot of ways that people have to go and make their living. Drake and Future know that, and so they dedicate pretty much the entire music video to show them working in baseline jobs in order to show the people watching that they do understand what they're going through on some level. Case in point, they start out the music video doing a very dirty job in getting trash for a garbage truck, a very thankless job that goes on every single day for those who do the work. They then go through a multitude of jobs. They go from basic to the more modern and then back again. We see them at a restaurant trying to do drive-through orders and failing badly, or cooking and failing badly. We also see them at a tech store trying to do IT work and working at a server farm, like computer servers, and so on and so forth. We even get to see them at a cake shop trying to make delicious desserts, which, if I'm being honest, I think they could do good on the front with the right people around them. Maybe that'll be Drake's next store in Toronto? Drake's Cakes? No?
I love cheesecake. I love cheesecake at nighttime.
I'm just saying. Now, I'm sure to some of you out there, this may seem like a very tongue-in-cheek music video. After all, while they're shown being in those jobs, we know that they aren't in those jobs. They're musicians, rappers, and two very good ones, and high-profile ones at that. The only time they work is when they're doing their thing on music videos like these, or working on songs, recording things in the studio, or maybe doing interviews and such, but it's definitely not the same, right? Well, yes and no. It's true that both Drake and Future are worth millions. Drake is worth $170 million, and Future is worth $30 million for the record. But again, there was a time when they had to work hard, really hard, to make their money, and yeah, they did ascend to the top in their own ways, but that doesn't mean they're dissing those who do daily jobs. Far from it, they're praising what many people around the world are doing right now in order to make things work. That's the thing. Life is Good may be praising their own accolades on a certain level, but it's also about making sure you know that what you do, regardless of the job, is important. And that's what the video is showing. They're saying that whether you work at a fast food place, or taking someone's trash away, helping with electronics so that they're functional, and more, it helps people. You may not realize it, you may not get thanked for it, but it's helpful. It has meaning, and thus you should say that life is good, even if you think it's not. Also, you could take it as a way of saying if you don't like your job, or you don't think life is good, that you should do what they did, and work hard to get out of your position so that you can get to a place where you can say life is good. Life gives you options. It's up to you to say which options you're going to take, outperforming expectations. And that being said, there you have it, a breakdown of all the hidden meanings in Life is Good by Future featuring Drake. What is your favorite part about the song or the music video? Which of these hidden meanings do you find the most interesting? Did you notice something about the song that we didn't? Let me know in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe. I'm King Trending, and I'll see you next time.
A simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We will be giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's really your choice. So be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. It's really that simple. Go for it.